Once again, remember, people like the animals. They like the little critters being in the commercials. And so that one was sort of a memorable one, and people enjoyed that one.
All right. In our next segment, we're going to count down 5 through 1 with the tie for number 1. And you can stay with us for that, right?
Absolutely, we'll do.
All right. Dr. Guskey is our guest from Duquesne, and we're showing you the top 10, maybe 11 Super Bowl commercials because there was a tie for first place. Stay with us for more on Pittsburgh Now. Dr. Audrey Guskey is our guest from Duquesne University as we talk about the top 10 commercials that were run during the Super Bowl. It's always a pleasure to have you here. Let's take a look at the next. Well, before we take a look at the next one, let me just ask you, is there a tendency to overproduce some of these things?
It's very interesting. There absolutely is, because this is a big deal. They're spending all of this money, maybe $3 million, to get a 30-second commercial. And so they're very careful in their creativity. They want to be sensitive. They don't want to offend anyone, but yet they want to get viewers' attention. They want to, you know, in a sense, be the winner of the Super Bowl ads. And so it's very careful, and a lot of times they're doing a lot of marketing research to figure out what works and what doesn't work. What's interesting is when we see the Doritos commercials, those were created by actual consumers, as we're going to see. And so a lot of the consumers only spent like $500 or less designing.
Yeah, but they say that might be on the design, but the production, they spent a lot more money.
Oh no, these were videotapes that people actually did and just submitted. So we'll have fun looking at that.
All right, well, let's take a look at another soft drink commercial. This one is for Pepsi Max.
And I have the French fries. I mean the fruit cup.
Pepsi Max, 0 calories.
Maximum taste. Hey. Honey.
Again, that was one I saw with the sound down, and I didn't get it, but was with jealousy and everything running through that?
I guess it was supposedly a bad girlfriend, and you know, he had a lot of trouble, and then next thing you know, with the Pepsi can, throwing it at her and hitting her. So it was okay. It was, I think, unfortunately, a lot of times some kind of violence or something like that tends to, people laugh at that, but it wasn't one of my favorites.
Maybe it's a relationship kind of thing.
Maybe it was a relationship kind of thing.
I didn't understand it because I've been married 35 years, perhaps.
And your wife would never throw a can of pop at you?
No, but a rolling pin might. Anyway, let's look at the Doritos commercial, which was number 4. And
this was one of the ones that was designed by the actual viewers, so pay very close attention. The production costs were minimal to none, but we'll enjoy it.
Grandpa Back to Life, it's called.
Hey, dude, feed the fish, water the plant. I'll see you next Thursday.
And welcome back on this beautiful Thursday morning. Next up, the segment.
Grandpa! Mikey? Grandpa, I missed you.
Okay, I got that one.
That was really clever. I mean, here you go. The Doritos are bringing Grandpa back to life, brought the little fish
back to life.
And so, it's cleverly done. And if you watch very carefully, the production wasn't that fabulous. I mean, it was just, guys sitting watching TV eating Doritos. But the point was, it really brought the product into focus. That was very cleverly done.
Now, this one has to be a fan favorite because it uses a little kid. It's an ad for Volkswagen,
this
right?
This is one of my favorites,
All right,
too.
Darth Vader and Volkswagen. Good. Here it is.
wasn't that spectacular. That one probably should have been number one.
That one was really cool. I would think so. So far, I'd rate it number one.
Absolutely, me too. It focuses on the product itself. All parents can relate to that. The dad giving the kid the power as Darth Vader. And so it was a very well done. Very well done. Once again, simple line, but very classic.
All right, now this next one is from Doritos, and so it's another.
This is another one that was designed by the viewers themselves, and this was a good one. And interestingly enough, pay attention to it. The fellow who actually designed this commercial ended up proposing to his girlfriend, and she said yes. So the guy not only won $1 million as a result of this commercial, he also got the girl too.
Talk about a win-win situation, and for Doritos too.
Oh, babe, check this out. Hey, come on. You want a little chippy? You want a Dorito? Are you hungry? Come on and get a Dorito.
Babe, don't hurt my dog.
Come on, get a chip. Come on, get a chip. Get a chip. Come on. Here he comes. Here he comes. I want Doritos.
And I guess Doritos liked it too.
Absolutely liked it because that was one of the ones that was ranked number one, tied with the other Super Bowl ad we're going to see. So, you know, once again, it's simple. And if you watch the production, I mean, what's funny is I've read some stories about how they did it, and the dog got tired after 20 takes.
I can
so they had to let the dog go. But if you watch the door falling on the guy, it wasn't like something that you'd see in Hollywood where, you know, it gently falls. But hey, it made the point, so it worked for them.
Okay, and the other number one spot is for Bud Light. And what would a Super Bowl be without a beer?
Absolutely.
All right, let's look.
Thanks again for dog sitting. No worries. They're really smart. They'll do whatever you tell them. Oh, and there's a ton of Bud Light in the fridge. Here we go.
Hey, guys.
There's a whisker in my hamburger.
Guys, we need more mugs.
It's the sure sign of a good time. It's just right taste of Bud Light. Here we go.
Don't worry, guys. I got it.
What can you say?
What can you say? I mean, you know, you got the dogs, you got the Bud Light. So the top two commercials this year were both dog related. So I think in order to get a winner as far as Super Bowl ads, you really have to have some kind of dog or monkey involved in it. But did it hit the mark? Yeah. How were the Super Bowl ads overall? I thought they were okay.
But again, these are giving animals some human traits, so to speak. I mean, even the guy who's leering, the dog who's leering at the girl at the bar, they're giving them human traits, and I guess that's something people can identify with.
People enjoy that, yeah. They like giving dogs some, you know, some kind of actual power, and whether they can talk or walk or serve people, which was sort of clever and well done.
What can you say about that Mean Joe Green commercial and remakes of it? Remember they tried that with Troy Polamalu.
There was a remake of the Mean Joe Green one in this year's Super Bowl ads as well. Yes, it wasn't done as well as, it wasn't like a total remake, but it had some characteristics of the Mean Joe Green. It had the little kid and then throwing the shirt, and that was fair.
Oh, that was House. He threw the cane and knocked the kid in the head. Yeah, okay, all right. Again, with the sound down, you miss them, but you wonder what's going on.
Exactly.
All right, can you stay with us one more segment?
I would love to do that.
I'd love to talk to you about Christina Aguilera and her flub of the national anthem.
Okay, let's do that.
All right, I'm Chris Moore. Stay with us. This is Pittsburgh Now. Welcome back to Pittsburgh Now. Our guest is Dr. Audrey Guskey. She is with Duquesne University, and we're talking about marketing and the Super Bowl, the commercials, which we just previewed in the first half of our show. Let's look at some of the other things. Okay. You know, I'm a graduate of Grambling State University, and the first Super Bowl 45 years ago featured our college band marching. And I think it was held in L.A. at the Ram Stadium at the time. And I, with the sound down, looked at that halftime show and was like, gee whiz, how much money went into this? I mean, people were, hundreds of people with lights on their costumes and all the rest.
And what offended me during the halftime show,
offended you?
Yes. All the people that were part of the show had these outfits that glowed in the dark, and at one point they were glowing green. Now, Chris, green. That was for Green Bay. And I said, when are they going to be glowing gold? And everyone in the room that I was watching Super Bowl with said, yeah, that's right. So it was quite a halftime.
Leave it to the marketing analyst to notice this, right?
Absolutely.
And she's got her black and gold on today.
I certainly do.
Now, I noticed that they asked the Black Eyed Peas, the principal performer at halftime, doing some pre-game thing, who you were for.
Yeah.
And they said the Black Eyed Peas. So Christina Aguilera came out wearing black, but she didn't have any gold on. She's from this area. Could she have been a little bit more partisan, or would that affect her fan base around the nation too? I
think she could have been subtly. I mean, you know, she should have had some gold on. I mean, she is from Pittsburgh, and it's not like she would be the only one that would be saying, oh, I'm for the Steelers. I think really overall the media tended to favor Green Bay. In most of the interviews, the national interviews,
well, they were favored by 6 points, and they won by 5.
But the media was, I think, highlighting them more so than the Steelers. But let's keep in mind, overall, what happened. The Steelers lost. We're all devastated in Pittsburgh today. But we are winners in the sense that we did play in the big game. Pittsburgh was highlighted. Pittsburgh was there throughout all the hoopla over the week that everyone was down there in Dallas. And I think overall that even though we lost, we did win. We got a lot of money, extra money that came into the region, and I think the visibility,
with the playoff games,
the playoff game, the fact that it's priceless to be in the Super Bowl. And in the end, of course, it hurts, and we hate to lose.
But we
bad.
lost.
I know, but we were there. You know, at least let's look at the positive thing, and it was a good thing for Steelers and the Pittsburgh region.
What about the demographics? Are they trying with the halftime shows to skew toward a younger audience in terms of getting future football fans involved?
Well, I would say probably. Now, keep in mind, in the past, they had Paul McCartney was one of the halftime show.
Tom Petty.
Tom Petty. So I think they just try to get big names and big acts. The Who was in there,
but I mean, that's my generation. Kind of, you know?
Mine too, and it goes way back. But you know, overall, you know, Black Eyed Peas with Fergie, I think they were going after a little bit of a younger demographic, because keep in mind, football is more of an older demographic group. Hockey is the one that tends to draw people who are in their 20s and early 30s.
What about the whole marketing of the Super Bowl itself, and Jerry Jones going for the record and some fans not being able to get in? That was a fiasco, wasn't it?
Total fiasco, and the media picked up on that one. And I think 1,200 fans did not get a chance after they had paid all that money to get down there to Dallas. That's devastating, and I think there's probably going to be some legal action taken. You don't want to have any kind of negativity when you're related to the Super Bowl.
But they offered them 3 times the face value of their ticket prices.
Well, yeah, but,
and you can go in the standing room lounge and watch it.
On TV. They could have stayed home and watched it on TV. Yeah, that was quite an interesting story that materialized out of it. But you know what? They should have known better. If they should have the fire marshals or whoever put the thumbs down on that section of the seats. That was pretty
But the reverse would have been if they'd let them in and that had collapsed. That would have disrupted everything.
It would have been horrible.
It was the right decision if the fire marshal said it wasn't
But they should have known ahead of time and let these fans know ahead of time. And you would think it was 1,200 fans, but you'd think they could have put them somewhere. They could have found at least some place to have placed them so they could have watched the game. You know, give them VIP seats, squeeze them in somewhere. You would think, but it didn't happen.
You say the city of Pittsburgh is a winner. It might be hard to convince the fans of that, but from a marketing standpoint, the hotel rooms, the playoff games, I understand it's like $1.5 million or more that it means to the city, not to mention being in the national spotlight where 30 other teams in the NFL can't get there.
Yeah, exactly. It was really a coup for the Pittsburgh region to have had the Steelers in the Super Bowl, because all the eyes were tuned to us, Pittsburgh, as well as Green Bay. You have 2 small market towns who are really excelling, and I think just the notion that Pittsburgh is associated with being a winner, and even though we lost, as you said, all those other 36 teams were nowhere near there. And so we were there enjoying all the hoopla, people buying all the black and gold beforehand. Now keep in mind, if we had won, there would have been a lot more money spent these days following the Super Bowl, which is not going to happen. But I think overall, at least it was a good thing, because it really highlights the city. And Western Pennsylvania is there in the eyes of all of the nation. You can't beat that. That's priceless advertising.
And what does it mean for Green Bay, a city that's 1/3 the size of Pittsburgh?
Well, obviously they're very excited, and it's huge for them. And keep in mind, that's a team that is owned by 100,000 Green Bay people.
Who says socialism doesn't work in America?
So the fans really made out on that one.
I couldn't help myself. I'm sorry.